Hi there, welcome. This is Vince of vinceprep.com and Agos, Japan, starting a new series of videos about the Berkeley Haas MBA application essays. It's a very good set of essays this year. I'm recommending that my clients actually start with Berkeley. If Berkeley is anywhere on your list, whether it's round 1 or round 2 or later, starting the Berkeley essays as a brainstorming activity is a very, very good idea, and I'm going to explain why. So here are the questions. I've sort of blown them up a bit to make them easier to see. So basically, let me just read a little bit. Pardon me as I read. At Berkeley Haas, we seek candidates from a broad range of cultures, backgrounds, and industries who demonstrate a strong cultural fit with our program and defining principles. I think that phrase right there, let me just pause. That phrase right there, strong cultural fit with our program and defining principles. Berkeley is really the only school I can think of that has gone out of its way to define 4 key principles. And I've been told that Berkeley, when you graduate from Haas, at least last year or a couple years ago, you got like a business card. In Japan we'd call it a meishi, right? You'd get a little business card to carry around in your wallet, and it'll say, question the status quo, confidence without attitude, students always, and beyond yourself. They put a lot of time and thought into those principles, and they care deeply about them, and they're asking you in your essay to reflect. You don't want to tell, you want to show. Always good storytelling, you're showing, not telling. You're not just repeating what they said back to them, but actually showing it through your own examples. And so here are the actual essay questions, instructions. Please use the following essays as opportunities to reflect on and share with us the values, experiences, and accomplishments. So values, experiences, accomplishments, that's what they're looking for, that have helped shape who you are. So it's a very value-driven, story-driven essay set, and that's effectively why I'm suggesting you start with it. I used to suggest people start with Stanford, but actually I think Berkeley's better because Stanford's question, what matters most to you and why, is so big that some people simply get overwhelmed with it. Unless you have already written your autobiography, unless you're somebody who's constantly writing about yourself, starting with Stanford is actually very hard. And starting with Berkeley is easier because there are real questions that you can focus on answering. Once you have... The one exception to this policy, though, is basically for Berkeley, answer the questions out of order. The questions are 1, 2, 3, but I actually suggest you answer them 3, 2, 1. So let me explain that. Start with essay 3. Essay 3 is a straightforward goal essay. Tell us about your path to business school and your future plans. So the reason I love this question is in the old days, most schools, a lot of schools, Wharton included, Chicago included, wanted you to start your essay, your future goal essay, with a summary of the past. And so when I worked with a client, we at Agos Admissions Consulting, when we work with you, we are starting with your resume. That's the way we get to know you. That's everything you've done up until now, or the best of what you've done up until now. And then with that resume, then you jump off to sort of the story behind the resume, and then going forward into the MBA. So how will the Berkeley Haas experience help you along this journey? So from the past into the future with Berkeley Haas MBA in the middle. It's a very classic structure. It's a very helpful structure for you. Stanford's goal essay, by contrast, is just why Stanford. It doesn't actually say what's your goal, although of course you need to mention it, and it doesn't actually probably want you to summarize your career background, because Stanford gets that information from the recommendation letter, gets that from the from the resume, and from the application data form, short answer questions, all those little boxes that are actually quite important. So start with the Berkeley goal essay, essay 3. Start with essay 3. Then go to essay 2. I'll be making separate videos about each of these essays because I love these questions, but let me just summarize them. So again, I'm encouraging you to, as a brainstorming exercise, ignore Berkeley's instructions for now. They say, please respond to one of the following. I actually want you, we at Agos Admissions want you to answer all of them with us, not as perfect 250-word essays, but as possible stories. This MBA application, I was going to get my son's Rubik's Cube to show you a prop, but you can just imagine it with me. You know, a Rubik's Cube, right? A square puzzle with colors on each side, and the point of a Rubik's Cube is to first mess up the colors and then put them back together. So MBA application is like a puzzle, and if you share with your admissions consultant all of your possible answers to a transformative experience, a significant accomplishment, a difficult decision, once we have your resume plus all of your possible answers to these three topics, we really know a lot about you. So all of these stories, so you're going to essentially share with us your resume, your goal, and a possible answer to all of these. And by the way, these numbers, 2.1, 2.2, that's me. Berkeley doesn't do that, but it's very helpful for me to refer to it. So 2.1, transformative experience, describe an experience that has fundamentally changed the way you see the world and how it transformed you. I'll talk more about that in a separate video. Option 2, significant accomplishment. Describe a significant accomplishment and why it makes you proud. This could be work or non-work. It's very open. And again, we as admissions consultants at Agos want to get to know you holistically. So rather than write a full answer to each of these questions, share with us the possibilities. So various accomplishments, most of which most likely will be in your resume, maybe not all of them. So share with us all the personal and professional options for option 2. And finally, difficult decision. Describe a difficult decision you have made and why it was challenging. So decisions are really critical when we get to the interview stage of this application process. My favorite question at Agos Admissions Consulting, we love to ask why. We're always asking you why. Why did you made this choice? Why you chose your college, your major, your career, your job, your company, your function. If you've changed jobs, why? Of course, why MBA? Why now? Why Berkeley? Why? So this essay gives you opportunity to describe a difficult decision you have made and why it was challenging. So I'll dig into these three. I love these little stories. These are what we call behavioral questions because they're based on past behavior. And the theory is that past behavior is the best indicator of future behavior. And so sharing all your possible answers to these questions really, really helps us get to know you. And finally, which I won't even talk about today at all, Berkeley's signature essay, meaning their most unique essay question, which they asked for 2 years in a row, then they got rid of it, now it's back. If you could choose one song that expresses who you are, what is it and why? I'm not even going to talk about that in this video. That deserves its own video. So, as always, please subscribe to my YouTube channel for the latest updates. Best of luck with your applications. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.